Roosters crow. Children laugh in the background. The camera zooms in on a young woman walking to school with a bag of books. Her name is Amaka. She wears simple clothes, her face tired but hopeful. Amaka enters a dusty classroom where 20 pupils sit on wooden benches. She greets them with a smile. "Good morning, my children." "Good morning, Miss Amaka." They respond in unison. Though her job as a village primary school teacher didn't pay much, she loved it. But life was not easy. She struggled to feed herself and her mother. Many nights, she slept hungry. Later that day, after closing from school, Amaka walked home alone. Her slippers were worn out. Her salary barely lasted a week. As she reached the edge of the bush path close to the village road, something shiny caught her attention. It was half covered in dust and grass. She bent down, wiped it, and saw it was a mirror, an oval mirror framed with what looked like gold and ancient carvings. She looked around. No one was in sight. She took the mirror, cleaned it with her wrapper, and placed it in her bag. That night, back in her small room, Amaka placed the mirror beside her bed. Something about it felt powerful, mysterious. She slept deeply. At midnight, Amaka stirred in her sleep. A soft humming filled the room. She sat up. The mirror glowed faintly. Suddenly, a woman dressed in white wrapper appeared inside the mirror. Her skin was fair, her hair long, and her eyes deep and serious. "Keep the mirror facing up," the woman whispered. "Keep it facing the room. Never turn it around. Do so, and you will lose everything." Amaka froze, too scared to move. But the woman disappeared as suddenly as she came. The next morning, Amaka laughed to herself. "Maybe I was dreaming," she muttered. But that day marked the beginning of everything changing. The following week, a man from the city visited her school. He was opening a private school in the capital and needed teachers. Out of all applicants, he picked Amaka. With that offer came more money. Amaka packed her things, hugged her mother, and moved to the city. Within a few months, she was earning more than ever before. But she didn't stop there. She rented a beautiful apartment in a high-rise building. Then, she opened a fashion boutique and started selling luxury clothes, wigs, shoes, and perfumes. Her shop had air conditioning, sparkling glass windows, and modern music. She decorated her room with fine things. The mirror had a special place on the wall, always facing forward. Every night, the same woman appeared in the mirror. "Keep the mirror facing the room. Obey, and you will keep rising," the woman whispered. Amaka always nodded, and things kept getting better. She started building 2 houses, one for her and one for her mother. Her face began to appear in social media videos. People called her Madam A. Rich men came to her shop, but she refused all their proposals. "Hard work brought me here," she often said. But she knew in her heart that something else had helped. One day, Amaka invited her mother from the village to spend a few days in the city. Her mother arrived, eyes wide with wonder. The apartment, the boutique, the fancy clothes, all shocked her. "My daughter, this is wonderful," she said. But when night came, the old woman slept in Amaka's room. She noticed the strange mirror. It sat on the wall, glowing slightly in the dark. Her mother stood in front of it, looking curious. As she peered into the glass, she saw something move, then a shadowy figure. Suddenly, the image of the woman in white appeared. She gasped and stepped back. A cold breeze swept across the room. Quietly, her mother said a short prayer. "This is not ordinary," she whispered. When Amaka stepped out the next morning, her mother took down the mirror and turned it to face the wall, thinking she was protecting her child. She never told Amaka what she saw. That night, for the first time in months, the woman in white didn't appear. Amaka slept deeply, but she woke up feeling uneasy. The next morning, her boutique assistant called. "Ani Amaka, the new goods you ordered from Turkey, the ship capsized. Everything was lost in the sea." Amaka dropped her phone. She rushed to the shop. Her generator had been stolen. Customers were complaining. Her main supplier stopped answering her calls. In 2 weeks, things spiraled. One of her houses was marked for demolition due to land issues. She tried to fix everything but failed. She returned to her apartment and noticed the mirror had been turned. Her heart stopped. "Who did this?" she screamed. Her mother came out, guilt written on her face. "I turned it. I saw a spirit in it," she said. Amaka's knees gave way.
"No, Mama."
"You don't understand." But it was too late. The boutique went bankrupt. Rent was due. She tried to sell some of her clothes, but no buyers came. Her car broke down. Her house was locked for unpaid fees. The woman in white never appeared again. Amaka moved from hotel to hotel, then back to her mother's village house. Villagers who once admired her whispered as she passed, "Is that not the rich girl from the city?" Ha! What happened to her? Amaka sat at the village square, now selling tomatoes and pepper. Her skin, once smooth, was now rough from the sun. Her nails, once polished, now cracked. But in her eyes there was peace, a kind she never had during her richest days.
One quiet evening in the village, she sat on a wooden stool with her mother. "Mama, I've learned something," she said. "What is it, my daughter?" "I chased wealth too fast. I forgot that God has a time for everything. The mirror gave me things I didn't build. That's why they disappeared quickly." Her mother smiled and touched her hand. "True wealth comes from the Lord. What you build with patience, no wind can carry away." They both looked at the setting sun. Amaka was no longer the girl who depended on a spirit in a mirror. She was now a woman ready to start again, with God's help. The camera fades out on Amaka smiling as she sells fresh tomatoes to a young woman. Not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes what looks like a blessing is a trap in disguise. True wealth doesn't come overnight. It comes with patience, honesty, and God's timing. Wait for it. If you were touched by Amaka's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful African folktales every week. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever chased something too fast and lost it all?